two different sets that you can snag from. There's a maturing ovary section and a corpus luteum section. So with those two, you can kind of pick which one you want, but you're likely only going to find one structure that you need to identify in each one. I got pretty lucky with this one, so we'll see if I can't find what I'm looking for. So with the ovary, just kind of it looks like space to me, like a really awkward Van Gogh drawing. So if you kind of go around the edges like this, that's where you're most likely going to find our mature or Graafian follicle, and it's just in view on the right-hand side. So when you're looking for the Graafian follicle, that's my second drawing on the board. It is going to be depicted by this dark granular outer layer, and this oocyte, that's what this is here. This is an oocyte that's attached to the side of the wall of granulation. Okay, that's your key point, and that's kind of like by definition why a mature follicle. It's in this stage considered a Graafian or mature follicle because it's right about to expel that egg. So it needs to be on the side so that oocyte can be expelled into the outer environment, get picked up and moved down the female reproductive system tract. Now, you have all this granulation because that's actually what's going to be the hormonal control for the rest of the cycle. So once that egg is expelled, what's left behind is just a granulated circle that'll look just like this. That's the corpus luteum. So the corpus luteum looks very, very similar to the Graafian follicle, except that it doesn't have an oocyte. And what you typically see is that the entire thing is granulated, okay? So this would be kind of an atypical one, or one that's not quite formed as far as corpus luteums go. You'd expect to see it way more granular, kind of more like this one, but maybe a little bit larger. So if these two were hybrided, that's what you'd expect to see, all right? Now, you aren't as likely to find corpus luteum in the maturing follicle sides, which is what I have up here. That's kind of why it's a little harder to point them out. But again, that's what you're expecting. Something that looks like this, more granulated, no oocyte for corpus luteum. And then for Graafian follicle, it's highly granularized. The follicle is attached to the side of the wall, or I guess the oocyte is attached to the side of the wall and ready to be expelled. I'm going to move up to another one that's not quite in the mature phase, but one that we can point to and ask you for the oocyte of it. That's just the one right above it. So here again we have an oocyte, but this is not a Graafian follicle. Okay, so here's kind of what the Graafian follicle looks like in opposed to another stage, but we can still point at this and ask you for the oocyte. All right? Any questions on this one?
What's the top one called?
I don't actually remember the stage, but